I'm Julia.
And I'm Henry.
And we are on our honeymoon right now in couples tucked away in Negril, Jamaica. We are going to do a kind of tips and tricks video about this resort and kind of some things we've come across. We watched a lot of videos before we came here, but we couldn't really find any that had tips and tricks. It was more just like resort tours.
Right, or even just like kind of like a vlog footage from their stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, and we're going to put up one of those too. But we thought it might be helpful to put kind of tips and tricks and pros and cons and some of our favorites, stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so we will go ahead and get started. Henry, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, sure. So one of the biggest things that we figured that we missed out on, that we didn't bring, that we really wish we would have, is like a Yeti or just a simple stainless steel tumbler, bigger drink, reusable cup. Mainly because the cups that they give you are smaller, probably in comparison to size like this, which isn't bad by any means.
But you drink them quick.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes waiting up at the bar can take longer than you want to wait for your second drink. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Another big thing is to bring a reusable straw, maybe like a stainless steel straw, a plastic straw, whatever it can be. They use paper straws at this resort, which is amazing. I mean, it's great for the environment. Exactly. However, when you're drinking, let's say maybe like a frozen or blended drink, they get kind of soggy and wilt really easily, and then it makes it really hard to drink a frozen drink.
I had a couple that broke too, and literally couldn't use the straw at that point.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's okay, but just a tip if you have a reusable straw, you can bring it. One tip I have is don't overpack. I guess if you have been to an all-inclusive resort, you probably know this. We each brought 2 full luggages full of clothes, and there was literally a guest that said, "Oh, is this your first time?" based on how much luggage we had. And she was so right. I mean, for me as a girl, I wore a swimsuit and a cover-up during the day, and then just a nice dress at night, and that's it. And I mean, I packed a lot. Bring a lot of swimsuits, because I mean, I changed my swimsuit a couple different times some days.
And we're not telling you to be minimalists either and try to bring too little, because obviously it's in most cases better to overpack than underpack. But when you overpack as drastically as we did, it doesn't turn out the best, and it just makes it'd be a lot easier if we could have made it into 1 luggage a person instead of 2 luggages a person.
Yeah, because then you just have to bring it around everywhere, and that's an hassle.
But anyways.
Yeah, so you want to do the next one?
Yep. Don't feel the need to upgrade to a better room. As you can see, we've got a pretty cool view behind us. You can only see the palms right now, but we can actually still see the ocean. It's not, don't get me wrong, it's not oceanfront by any means, but it's still beautiful. It's still a beautiful view. You can see the jacuzzi. It's overlooking a cool little courtyard area.
You can see the ocean, the sunset. We can see the sun setting.
Right.
And we're in a garden veranda suite, so we're not in an ocean view. We're not gonna walk out. Yeah, we're on the 2nd floor.
The only way that I see that it's beneficial to pay for the upgrade is if you don't want to be on the 3rd floor. Like, you know for a fact you don't want to ever be on the 3rd floor. Personally, I don't know if I would have loved being on the 3rd floor. 2nd floor is probably my max.
A lot of stairs.
It is a lot of stairs. That's the only time that it's beneficial to pay for, like, the walkout, as to say.
Well, and one thing I'd say too is with the ocean view, I actually noticed a lot of them have palm trees right in front. So it's like you have a very obstructed view of the ocean. And
being on the ocean front and whatnot, there's people walking by your room constantly. I don't think that I would like it a ton.
And you're not even right on the ocean. You still have to walk through, like, even with the walkout, you're not on the beach. You have to walk across. I mean, you're not far at all.
Yeah, and you're not very far at all.
But you do have to walk across a walkway, past all of the chairs, and then you're on the beach. So we just personally think that this basic fee that we paid for the room is completely worth it. I love the room.
Another thing is that you're not far away from anything at any given point. This resort isn't really big enough for you to have to spend forever walking from one to the other. Granted, now we might be a little bit skewed because our room is pretty much towards the middle of the resort in general. However, you know, I mean, we're not far away from the beach at all because it's not a very deep resort. But even if you're on one side, there's plenty of things to do on either side of the resort. Like, if you really didn't want to go to one side of the resort ever, you wouldn't have to.
No, there's a restaurant on both sides. There's beach bars on both sides.
There's a beach. The beach is along the whole way. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason if you absolutely don't want to walk all the way across the resort, you don't have to.
Right. So my next trick is to get drinks at the wellness bar and hang out at the lap pool and jacuzzi for a less busy environment. So there is a whole sports complex at this resort. It's across the road, but it's really nice because they have guards that actually help you across, so you don't have to feel unsafe being technically off property for 30 seconds.
Right, well, as you cross the road, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about cars.
Yeah, especially because the drivers can be a little bit on the hectic side.
Yeah, but they do have like a crosswalk that tells the drivers to stop and everything. But anyway, so over on that side, there's actually a huge lap pool, which you can just hang out in as well. And it's a lot less busy just because it is kind of more the sports side. It's not on the ocean, but the wellness bar there, which is more a smoothie bar, also has Red Stripe beer, Red Stripe Light, champagne, and wine. So we went over there. I had a bunch of mimosas. He had some beer, and we hung out. The jacuzzi over there is actually really nice. It's enclosed by the trees and stuff. It's a really cool spot, and we were mostly alone. I mean, a few other guests, but it wasn't crazy busy. So if you kind of want to step away from the busyness, that's kind of a good tip, is to go hang out over there for the day.
Another good thing to do, another great idea, is to do your water sports in the morning, such as snorkeling, paddleboarding, kayaking, water bike, whatever that thing was.
Yeah, there's like a water bike catamaran thing.
Yeah, really cool.
It's cool.
Really cool.
Try it.
But it's way better to do those things earlier in the morning. The water sports hut opens at 8 a.m.
Take advantage.
Take advantage of it early in the morning, mainly because as soon as any wind picks up, the water becomes way choppy, and it's just not so nice. Yeah, I mean, you're fighting water when you're snorkeling. If you're in big rough waters in the mornings, it's way more calm, so you don't have to try as hard to swim around and whatnot.
Right, and like for paddleboarding, I've actually never paddleboarded before, so I was really nervous standing up because the waves were pretty decent because we did it in the afternoon. And I wish we would have done that in the morning, because it would have been a little easier for a first timer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fun in the afternoon. It's not like I regret doing it. I would do it in the afternoon. Excuse me, afternoon again. But I do recommend it in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I have pretty decent balance, and I still fell probably half a dozen times on the paddleboard, mainly because of the waves. Another thing is, when the boats go by, they do create a big disturbance in the water. I mean, that's pretty much a given, but that will mess you up on the paddleboard as well.
And kind of going with that tip, I definitely say do the water sports. We noticed that a lot of people don't do them. They weren't really it wasn't that busy by the water sports.
No, not at all. Like every time we wanted to go to do anything, it's not like we had to wait for the pedal bikes to come back, or wait for the paddle boards to come back, or anything like
kayaks,
that. I'd say the only
sailing.
thing that we saw people using a decent amount were the Hobie cats, which is going to be like your personal catamaran sailboat kind of thing.
Yeah, which we haven't done yet, but we're doing that today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely say use the water sports because they're included. The only thing you have to pay extra for is scuba diving. I believe unless you're scuba certified, then I don't think you have to pay. I think you're essentially paying for the certification/training. But you got snorkeling, a catamaran cruise, which is really fun. Everything, all paddleboarding, kayaking, anything you could think of is included, which is really, really nice. You don't have to reserve that kind of stuff ahead of time. Snorkeling, you have to reserve the day before. What were the other two?
Well, scuba diving, I think you technically have to reserve ahead of time too, I want to say.
Yeah, a couple of them you have to just 24 hours in advance, but it's a quick just stop in, say you're going to come tomorrow, and then do that.
The catamaran you have to book ahead of time too, but other than that, everything's pretty come and go.
So then for another tip is when you check in, there is a reservation desk right up front. I think it's a guest relations desk technically. Make all of your reservations when you check in. So there's 2 restaurants here, Feathers and Lemongrass.
2 fancy restaurants.
2 fancy ones, yeah. Those are the 2 that you have to reserve. You can't just show up. So I recommend to reserve them right away. And you can do them more than once, which we weren't sure on, but last night we called to book for tonight, our final night. We're going to do Lemongrass again. They're both really good. And then book your catamaran right away because that also fills up quickly.
Yep.
And then another tip that I had too with the catamaran is, we didn't do this, but I think it's a good idea, is to do the catamaran the day of the beach party, which is Friday.
/ bonfire.
Or the bonfire. Well, no, because the bonfire is quite a bit later. So we did it the bonfire day.
Yep.
But the beach party starts at 7. The catamaran gets back at like 6:30. So it's kind of a way, like it's like a booze cruise catamaran. So it's kind of fun. If you're having fun on the catamaran, you get off and you still have something to do. We didn't do that, and we got off the catamaran, and I think we came and fell asleep.
We pretty much we went and got food, I think.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
And then fell asleep, and that was about it.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice to keep the party going if you do it the day of the beach party. That one.
Yeah, so another big tip is if you're going to go to Rick's Cafe, which is the cliff diving, really cool, fun area to go hang out.
In Negril.
In Negril, yeah. Eat and drink some before going there. The meals are extremely expensive. I heard that the food is really good. We didn't, mainly because we did not want to spend the kind of money that they wanted for food there.
$18 for a cheeseburger.
For a cheeseburger with fries. And when you're staying on an all-inclusive,
just eat before you go.
Just eat before you go.
It's
or
like
eat when you get back. It's
10-minute ride there.
Yeah, it's
not even.
It's probably more like 15 minutes to Rick's. You got to drive right through downtown Negril, but it's totally worth it to eat before going there, rather than spend the money that you want there. I mean, unless you really want to get some food while you're there. But I've heard that it's not the greatest experience trying to get food there. It's always really busy, regardless of what time of day it is. But that's one tip to do before you go there, is eat and drink before you go.
And I would say go to Rick's, so we completely recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
The cliff diving's really fun.
Yep.
If you don't want to watch the cliff jumpers, or if you don't want to cliff jump, then watch the cliff jumpers. At least it's really cool.
Yeah.
They have some professional jumpers.
Yeah.
The music's good. There's drinks. A little bit pricier considering you're staying at an all-inclusive.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's worth it though. I would go. The sunset's beautiful. It's right on the point. So
I think you can get like a bucket of 5 beers and 5 shots for like $30. So that's not really that bad of a deal.
Yeah. But especially if you go with someone.
Exactly. Like if you're going with a group, it makes it worth it.
So there's a lot of activities here that is planned out for you. You get a brochure when you get here that has all of the days with activities.
Yep.
And I personally thought they were spaced out really well. So there wasn't. It wasn't overwhelming. There wasn't stuff that you thought, oh, I want to do this, and then you feel guilty for not doing all the activities. We did a couples game show, which was really fun, but it was definitely a lot more raunchy than we expected.
Yep.
Got very deep and personal.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to break through that comfort zone. Maybe you won't, depending on what kind of person you are.
Yeah, I mean.
But for us, we had to break through our comfort zone.
Yeah, it was a little bit like some questions where I didn't know if I wanted to. Yeah. But I mean, it was really fun. But it would have been nice to know ahead of time that maybe we would have just watched.
Right.
Side note, we were winning. We were crushing it, but we had to leave because we were late for our dinner reservations. So.
Because this will get into one of the cons thing as well.
Yes.
Is that they're definitely on island time here.
Yeah.
Their activities start late. Slash don't happen at all on occasion.
Yeah.
We were gonna do beach yoga at 8 a.m. We hung out until 8:20 or so because we had a tour that we wanted to get to, and beach yoga never started. Nobody showed.
It never
There was
happened.
a group that showed up and it never happened.
Yeah, no. There was a bunch of us and we all just left eventually.
Yeah. Not that it was the biggest deal, but just so that you're aware that when you get here, sometimes things will start late. Like our game show started over 15 minutes late.
Which is kind of why we were running late for dinner.
Right.
It also went a lot longer than we expected though. And I think that's kind of on us. We went to it with only an hour to spare.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah. You can do that one.
Yep. You got to get to the nightclub at 11 p.m. if you want there to be any sort of crowd on the dance floor. At least from the one night that we made it there. We were there for the Piano Man Piano Bar, which was really cool.
Really cool.
Definitely check that out while you're here.
And that's in the same place. It's all up in a nightclub.
Or a lounge or a nightclub or whatever it is. And then we followed that up. We just stayed there through to the nightclub time, which is 11 p.m. But that dance floor quickly cleared out. It was down to just us and another couple at like midnight.
By midnight.
Yeah, there was only about an hour of maybe like 15, 20, 30 people dancing, and then it just cleared out pretty quick.
Really quick.
Gone. I mean, maybe that's not all the time, but at least our experience was that.
So if you do want the nightclub experience, I would say get there before 11 even. I mean, the Piano Man goes right up until the nightclub opens. So I mean, it'd be fun to go beforehand and then hang out for a little bit, but we were the only couple with another couple for like an hour. But it was fun. We still had a great time. Let's see. One thing is, I would say you can request like breakfast in your room or room service, ahead of time though. You can't just call and have it brought down. You can do everything ahead of time though. They have, I believe, 7 slips in the room, and you can check what you want each day. So like if you want coffee brought to your room every morning, you can do that. But you can fill it out ahead of time.
You have to fill it out before 1 a.m. the night prior to the morning that you want your breakfast. And when I say breakfast, I do mean
it's not much.
Not really a breakfast. It's kind of more like pastries, your continental breakfast style stuff. Yeah, that you can get brought to your room.
But I mean, it's nice.
It's nice, especially if you want to just hang out in the room the next morning.
Yeah.
Or if you're leaving super early.
I think it starts
the next
at
day,
like
it starts at 5:30.
Oh, 5:30? Wow,
They start room service at 5:30 in the morning. So you could request some pastries. Like that would have been a good thing for us if we were the morning that we did the fishing excursion that we did, because we had to leave here at 6:45. So that way we could have had coffee, pastries, all that brought to us. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You just set it up for your delivery time, which is a half-hour span that they could show up.
And they came on time for us.
Yeah, they came right in the middle of our expected time frame.
Yeah.
So.
You can also get liquor in your room. I mean, we knew this just because of reading reviews and everything and watching videos, but it doesn't really say it anywhere specifically. You kind of just have one little sheet that says, if you want this, you can have it. You can only get 1 liquor at a time though. They give you a full bottle, but you can only have 1 at a time, and then once you finish that, you can trade it out and get another one.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing. You have to request it, and then they bring it.
Yeah.
So
which they are full bottles of liquor. So
oh yeah, they're like
they're full size liquor bottles. So I mean, granted, we haven't even touched the one that we ordered, mainly because we haven't been in the room with them.
And our friends gave us the rest of their Grey Goose vodka. So.
Yeah, we're gonna use that before the Appleton rum that they have. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, and it's top shelf stuff too. Some of it, like the Grey Goose vodka,
you do
nice.
well. You do have to pay for the
Oh, do they pay for that?
Yep, you do have to pay for the higher tier. No, they gave us Absolute, not Grey Goose.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Grey Goose is the ultimate top tier that you have to pay for. I think it was like they charge $40 for the bottle too, so it's not cheap either. Yeah. But, anyways, the spa. Yeah, if you're here on your honeymoon, don't forget.
Or just anytime.
Well, yeah, or anytime. But like if you're specifically here on your honeymoon, do not forget to bring as long as you're within 30 days of your wedding date, as long as you're show up and check in 30 days within 30 days after your wedding date. Don't forget to bring either your marriage license, which nobody likes to bring that on a trip.
Yeah. No.
Or your wedding invite.
Yep.
Shows as proof. Bring a copy of your wedding invite. Show it to the people at the front desk. They'll check you in for their honeymoon package, which includes a bottle of sparkling wine, which we have never opened. A spa package, which is a 25-minute couples massage. Amazing. And access to the spa, which has its own jacuzzi and a cool water rain head shower outside as well. That's one of the best things of this trip that we've had is that spa package. The massage was amazing.
Phenomenal. It was his first massage, only my second.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was so amazing.
And it was only
so
25
relaxing.
minutes.
Yeah, and it was 25 minutes. It felt like an hour. I'll be honest. It felt amazing.
And then it was just really nice because you could use their jacuzzi and that rainfall outdoor shower for as long as you want. It's not like they said, okay, you only have 10 minutes and then you gotta go. They let us kind of hang out as long as we wanted.
Yep.
I was really relaxing there. It was beautiful in there too.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to reserve that at least 12 hours prior.
Yep.
So usually the day before.
Yep, so you usually check in the day before. They give you a receipt at the reservations desk. Another thing that you should at least get your voucher for that when you check in at the hotel. There's a reservations desk that you get your reservation ticket for the spa.
The spa prices, the massages are higher.
They're pricey. Yeah.
They're pretty pricey. But I do recommend it. I mean, if that's something that you really want to do, I recommend it. It was worth every penny if we would have paid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I think if we come back, we would pay again. That was awesome. We mentioned to use the water sports. That was a big thing. I also think you should get the app. So there's a couples app. And it was handy when we were here because it kind of says the activities times, it says the restaurant hours. It was stuff that, I mean, we had all of this information in our room, but there were times before we got the app that I was like, well, I don't know what time this activity is, we should head back. And then we get back and it's like, oh, it's not for another 2 hours.
Right.
So when you look at the app, that helps. The app also has like restaurant times. There was a restaurant that we didn't even realize served breakfast, Patois Patio. And their breakfast is phenomenal. So we learned that, I believe, yesterday. We've only had 2 breakfasts there. Really good, though.
Yeah, breakfast pizza is really good.
Yes. So now we're going to kind of dig into the pros and cons. Yep. So we'll start with the pros.
So we're vegetarian, and we had not a single issue with eating food while we were at this restaurant. Vegan at this resort. My mess up. Anyways, vegan would be a little bit more tough because there's all sorts of dairy, eggs, all sorts of stuff.
I didn't see anything that said vegan.
Yeah, there was nothing that was specifically vegan, so that would be a little bit. I'm sure that. I mean, the restaurants are super accommodating.
Yeah.
If you told somebody that you're vegan, they would be able to make you at least some sort of special meal for you specifically. For example, we were at what was that? Like a taste of. It was basically like a.
It was an international night.
Yeah, it was international.
Food from all different countries.
And there was an Asian area that had a pad thai that was not vegetarian, and she made us a specific batch of vegetarian pad thai.
Like she literally left her little station, went, got different ingredients, came back, and made us a special pad thai.
And it was
phenomenal.
It was really good.
so good.
So it's very vegetarian friendly if your diet, any sort of diet. They always ask for food allergies, all that kind of stuff. So
every restaurant had an option. There's a whole vegetarian restaurant, and then every restaurant, even like the fancier ones, they have a vegetarian meal right there. You don't have to kind of look around.
Sea Grapes Cafe has one of the best veggie burgers I've ever had, so you'll have to check that out as well.
Yes. Another pro is when you get to the airport in Montego Bay, there's an airport lounge for couples guests specifically. In the airport lounge, they check you in, and it's really quick and easy, and then there's beer. There's a bar.
Yep, there's a bar.
It's free.
They've got only beer though. They've got Red Stripe and Red Stripe Light. We did see someone get a mixed drink, but when we asked for her, because she's not typically a beer drinker, they told her that he was not allowed to do it anymore because it's technically against the rules.
Right. But it was nice in there. There's chairs. You could wait. It is like a 2-hour ride on a shuttle van to Negril from Montego Bay. It's quite a hike, but it's fun. You can bring the beer on the shuttle. Fill up. That's a tip. Fill up 2 beers before you get on, and then drink it while you're going.
They will make bathroom stops if you need to make one too on the way in.
That is true. And that's also nice with the lounge at the airport, the couples lounges, they have bathrooms in there.
Yep.
So once you get there, you literally can just hang out and wait. And it wasn't too long of a wait.
No, we were actually the last people to not make the shuttle that left immediately after we got got through customs and everything. And we still only waited like half an hour.
And that was probably the longest
That was the longest anybody could have waited. The staff is extremely friendly. Every person you're walking by on the resort is saying good morning or hello, how are you, that kind of thing. There's an exception to that. There's a couple of people that we haven't had the best experience with, but overall still an A+ on as far as service and everything like that goes. Yeah.
The resort is really clean. We've noticed they're up early, sweeping the paths and picking up any mess, cleaning the pools. It's a little bit dated. You can tell it's a little bit older of a resort. Yeah. But it's clean. You can tell it's clean.
It's clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we said before, you have to check out the sports complex.
Even if you're not into athletics,
working out, or you're not into anything in particular. I mean, the lap pool is always cool to check out. The wellness bar itself has great smoothies. Shout out to the banana pineapple smoothie that's over there. I probably put down 4 of those in one day before. They're extremely good. I mean, it's just a cool place to go check out. It's way more laid back. There's way less people over there. So it's definitely a cool place to check out if you want to get away from a few people, have a little bit of relaxing time. There's a ping pong table, racquetball, squash.
Tons of tennis
all
courts.
That kind of stuff. There's tennis courts everywhere.
They have free tennis instruction too.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't really like tennis, but
yeah, it's a really cool place to check out. There's a pool table, everything.
And they have a lot of activities too that use the sports complex. They have a lot of classes. They have a spinning class. They have yoga.
There's an aerobic studio. There's a full
aerobics.
Gym with weights, everything like that.
The gym is open air, so it does get warm.
Yeah.
But they do have an air-conditioned indoor aerobics room, which was really nice. The check-in process, like I mentioned, was really smooth. Once you get off the shuttle, they give you a nice cool towel, and then they sit you down and you check in as a group, and it's really, really quick.
Champagne while you check in.
Yeah, champagne right away. You don't have to wait in line or anything. You're sitting in comfortable chairs. They bring you drinks, so that's a really, really nice, quick transition.
Like I said, there's great customer service here. The housekeeping is very cool, very timely with their housekeeping and whatnot. They do a morning service and a night service. So if you don't want somebody coming in your room at night, just leave your do not disturb sign on there. But we've never had an issue with that.
No.
But they do come in, straighten everything up. They actually close your blinds at night, maybe to give you a little bit more privacy, so that when you come into the room, you know, it's light in your room, dark outside, everybody can see in your room. But the housekeeping is wonderful too.
I think one of the biggest pros is there's cats everywhere. That might be a personal thing.
Probably seen 30 cats since we've been here. We're huge animal lovers.
Yeah, but they're not annoying either. Like, they're not all over the place. But you find them. There's a couple dogs too. They're really friendly. They don't bother you.
Yeah, nobody's had an issue with any sort of aggressiveness with the dogs that I know of.
Nothing.
We've never had an issue with the dogs either. So.
Yeah. There's pretty decent entertainment. The only thing that kind of bothers, not really bothers us, but it's later. Like, it doesn't start until 9, like the shows and everything. Kind of wish there was like a 7 o'clock show and a 9 o'clock show. And then it also ends around 11, so there's nothing really going on after 11.
Besides the nightclub. That's the only thing that's going on after 11.
Yeah.
Aside from the one restaurant, which is the Cabana Grill, that's open until 5 a.m.
Yeah. But yeah, so the entertainment is good, but it starts at 9 and ends by 11, so it's kind of limited, but the resort it feels like it goes to sleep early.
Right. And then now we're going to get into the very few cons that we have about this. The one thing is when you get onto the bus, they don't really give you an option of carrying your own luggage, which I know nobody really wants to do. But you know, depending on what your budget is, you might not want to have to tip a porter, and that's basically what you get forced into doing once you check on it there.
Like, they tell you.
Yeah, they tell you.
Say, well, this is the only way we get paid, so we really, really appreciate tips. And not in the most friendly way either.
It wasn't friendly at all.
Like, someone gave one of the guys $2, and he got mad. He said, well, what about everybody else? What money are you giving them?
Right.
So it's kind of like, and you're forced into doing it. Like, I would gladly carry my luggage.
Yeah, they didn't give us an option. They basically took our bags, put a tag on it, and put it on the rack, but without even asking. I assumed that it was couples doing this. It's not. It's the airport staff porter that's doing it, which I wasn't really fond of.
Yeah. So, I mean, but if we would have known ahead of time, we wouldn't have been as annoyed. So hopefully this helps somebody. Yeah. Like we mentioned earlier, some of the events were late or didn't happen. Not a huge deal, but...
Right. Another thing is over in the sports complex, they do have a basketball court. Don't expect it to be a nice basketball court. They basically have what you have in your driveway as a kid, with the whole like water tank that holds a basketball hoop down and everything. It's the ones that they have over here have clearly fallen a few times because the rim is kind of tipped to the side, which makes it really hard to make a basket if you're actually into it. Granted, it was 92 degrees outside, so I probably shouldn't have been trying to play basketball anyways, but I couldn't have made a basket for the life, to save my life, because of the fact that it was all bent and damaged.
Yeah.
But
another con is there isn't really much room service. Like we said, the breakfast, they don't have much. You have to order it in advance. There's a few times, like laying in the afternoon, I wished I could just had a sandwich brought to me or something.
Yeah, like order grilled cheese and...
Yeah, because I know a lot of resorts do have that 24-hour room service that you can just call and have something. So that was kind of a bummer, and it ends at, I believe, 3 o'clock, if not earlier, so.
And then the last con that we have for you guys before we finish up here is that the gift shop is extremely pricey. They told us that it was $60 for a pound of the Blue Mountain coffee, which I've never heard of it being that much at all anywhere.
Other shops are definitely a lot cheaper.
Right,
and they don't have much at the gift shops here either.
Yeah, I mean, they've got your standard typical, like, Jamaica t-shirt gifts.
No, they don't.
The one over on this side does.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Not much though.
It's the one over on the south lobby has a little bit more than the one over in the main lobby. Main lobby is very small. What's nice though is that they do have your standard medicine and whatnot. However, it's pricey for just a single packet.
But if you did forget something or really need it, they have it, which is nice. Or like sunscreen, important stuff that if you forgot it, there's an option.
Yeah, but they were just really pricey in general.
And then I actually did have one more con. The vendors, there's vendors on the beach. Although the reviews definitely made it sound like they were way worse than they were. They don't actually come close to the resort. They stay by the water, but they do yell to you, and they're there. You know they're there, which is kind of annoying. But
it's nice because they don't even have an option to they can't come close to you because they know that it's resort property once you get closer away from the water. So they stay close to the water. So basically, if you're not looking at them, they can't really do much as far as like coming close to you or getting near you.
And then super quickly, we're just gonna go through some of our favorites. You have said that already.
Like I said already, the pineapple banana smoothie at the Wellness Bar, phenomenal.
There's really good pasta at the Palms for lunch.
Yes.
We didn't know that the Palms had lunch until yesterday.
Yeah.
We just kind of missed that memo, so delicious.
The pizza at the Command and Grill, it's only from noon to 3 p.m. So it's phenomenal. It's really good pizza.
And they have a veggie pizza as well as a meat pizza. The omelets at the Palms restaurant's breakfast was really good, and veggie burgers at Sea Grapes, which we had mentioned.
Yep. The stuffed French toast at Patois Patio, which is going to be on the south end. That's the one that's on the basically right below Feathers. They've got great banana stuffed French toast.
Yes. And then the Feathers, that's the fanciest restaurant, one that you book in advance and you have to dress up for. That one, all the food was really good. The service was really good. The desserts, though, were really good.
It was basically like a white chocolate cheesecake. Oh my gosh, that was to die for. That was good stuff.
Lemongrass was, I would say, our favorite, probably.
Yeah.
That's the other one that you have to reserve. That restaurant we actually booked again for tonight, so we're going there twice on this trip. It has Asian cuisine. It's really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. I think it's their Tuesday special or Monday special, depending on what time of year it is. But it's called the Blue Lagoon, and it's a vodka, gin, pineapple juice, and blue Curaçao drink.
So good.
Oh my gosh, so phenomenal. They do a really good job at mixing drinks here too, by the way.
We mentioned that the spa and the outdoor rainfall shower was amazing. One of the best parts of our trip, which actually surprised me. I didn't think that would be one of the best parts, but it was. The pedal catamaran bikes, interesting, but worth trying.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
And then lastly, we did a nature walk tour, which was actually really cool. It was kind of an educational step away from the constant fun for the trip. It was really informative. We love nature, but learning all different tree names isn't my favorite thing on the planet.
Right.
But it was actually really fun. It was nice to walk with the tour guide and just ask general questions about all different things with Jamaica, which was really good.
Yeah, and there's anytime that you have a question about any sort of thing on the resort, feel free to ask. People are very accommodating. They're very knowledgeable as well. When you ask somebody a question about the resort or about the area, they can definitely fill you in on a lot of information. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have for as far as tips, tricks, favorites, pros, cons, all that kind of stuff.
Hopefully this helps somebody. We're also going to have kind of a vlog style video, and just we have a lot of GoPro footage. Bring a GoPro if you can get some really cool shots here.
Some underwater footage and whatnot. We got a lot of that. A lot of good stuff there too.
Yeah, so hopefully this helps someone. If you have any questions, you can comment, let us know.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.